All right, folks, we're going to go to part two. Let's go over part one. Here are all the missing angles. We did the diagram first, and then I filled in all the information. You can see I color-coded it, and I will post this as Saul's version on the test review here on Canvas very shortly. So here we got that. All right. Now, we're given two angles of the triangle, and we're told to find the other two angles. Now, one of the angles, of course, is the exterior angle, angle 4, but we don't know what it is. So let's look at the following. We know angle 2 has a measure of 50, and angle 3 has a measure of 70. So I need to determine the measure of angles 1 and 4. Now, there's a couple different ways we can do these. So let's go ahead and determine the measure of angle 1. Now, angle 1, we know, is the sum of all angles of any triangle is 180 degrees. So I know the measure of angle 1 plus 50 plus 70 equals 180. All right. So the measure of angle 1 plus 120 equals 180. And then when I do the subtraction, I get the measure of angle 1 equals 60 degrees. All right. So angle 1 has a measure of 60 degrees. Okay, now angle 4, I can do this a couple different ways. For one, I can find the supplement of 70, or since I know that angle 1 now has a measure of 60, so the measure of angle 4 equals 60 plus 50. Now, these are the remote interior angles. So the exterior angle is the sum of the two remote interior angles, which is still 110 degrees. All right. That's that one. All right, let's do a couple more, because that's all we have. All right, let's fill in what we know. We know that angle 4 has a measure of 95, and that angle 2 has a measure of 60. All right, now, as far as angle 1 goes, remember, the measure of angle 1 plus 60 equals 95, because the remote interior angles 1 and 2 will add up to equal the exterior angle, which is 95 degrees. So then that means I subtract 60, and the measure of angle 1 equals 35 degrees. Now, as far as 3 goes, that's just the supplement of 95. So the measure of angle 3 plus 95 equals 180. So the measure of angle 3 is going to equal 85 degrees. There's a couple different ways to do these. That's why I wanted to emphasize it. But I'm trying to show you that the two remote interior angles, which are 1 and 2, and this right here is the exterior angle. All right, so angle 4 is the exterior angle. And then the supplement for angle 3, it is going to be 85 degrees. All right, there we go. All right, got one more for you. And I got one more for you, and then we will be, you can now look over this on your own. Okay, now here's what we know. We know that angle 1 has a measure of 65 degrees, and that angle 3 has a measure of 30 degrees. Okay, so let me rewrite that. All right. We do know that the measure of angle 4 plus 30 degrees equals 180 because they're supplementary. This is a supplement. So the measure of angle 4 equals 150 degrees. Because this is the supplement of angle 3. Now, we also know that 65 plus the measure of angle 2 equals 150 because these are the remote interior angles, and this right here is my exterior angle. So we're going to subtract 65. So the measure of angle 2 equals, 85. Let me rewrite that. That looks pretty bad. That even looks pretty bad for my standards. And my standards are pretty low when it comes to my writing. So minus 65, and that's going to be 85 degrees. And when it's 85 degrees, you have good weather. I'm kidding. That has nothing to do with this. I just thought I'd throw that in. Okay, that's the Saul's version of the Chapter 3 test review. So if you have any questions, make sure you bring them to class, or make sure you email me if you're not in class or you're not in class. So good luck.